So in seeing the title of this video, you might be thinking, a sexual routine, or your routine in dating where, you go out to dinner, you come home, you watch a movie, you go to bed, you wake up on Sunday morning, you read the paper, whatever it is, okay? That's not the routine I'm talking about. It's a very different routine, and I want to tell you about this because it really is about you and your routine and how it dulls your man's interest in you over the long run. So who am I to talk about this? I'm Coach Paula Grooms, a dating and relationship coach, licensed social worker, and author of the book, Why Won't He Commit? How a Man Decides to Make You the One. So this routine that I'm talking about is you. And what I mean by that is that if you have found yourself in a series of relationships that end, and not you wanting them to end truly, and I mean not that you were in love but he didn't do XYZ, you wanted it to go the distance but he didn't. I mean when I say end it, where you really knew, this is not the man for me, I don't want to be with this man anymore. That's a very different ending than, I really love this man and want to be with him, but something isn't working. And you've had a series of those relationships whereby they just haven't worked and they haven't gone the distance and you haven't gotten commitment. What is this routine? It's very simple. It is about you and your self-concept and also what you are doing. First is not making him wonder. If you've read my book, how I talk about men loving, you will know that I say women love through knowing, men love through wondering. And it's on a scale of all manner of very small, subtle ways of making him wonder, and sometimes to the larger ways of really making him wonder. But what it isn't, and I want to make this very clear, is not making him wonder about where you stand in the relationship, what you are looking for, what your value is as a woman, or about other men in your life. Those are not the ways we make a man wonder. We don't want him to wonder about your fidelity, your loyalty, your trustworthiness, and your commitment to the relationship. No. So we don't ever want to use other men or jealousy or anything like that. That's not what I'm talking about in making him wonder. It's all the approaches and strategies I talk about here in many of my videos and many more. You can discover some in my book. And certainly if you follow my podcast, Make Him Wonder. The name of the podcast is there for a reason, because it is so foundational that men love through wondering. And if you are in a habit of approaching him, meaning reaching out in text all the time, you're not allowing for that wonder to develop. If you're in a rut and routine about how you answer him, meaning you're not varying it up, look at a video that I will put here below about texting, or go to my texting playlist and understand how important it is, because texting is a way we relate today in our relationships. Very, very important, your texting. And these approaches are very subtle, but they make a man wonder in the best way possible. So if you're not really making him wonder in the right way, then you are getting in a routine that is not going to service you. The other is what works with men. You really need to be doing and behaving in a way that it works for the man to, yes, continue wondering, but also to feel his best around you. And if you don't do these things and be very aware and conscious of doing them in your relationship, no matter whether you've been together 1 week, 1 year, 10 years, 20 years, it needs to be continuous to make romance stay in the relationship. The third thing is, if you have had any relationships in the past that if you've wanted and they haven't gone the distance, it's not because the man doesn't love you. It's that your self-concept and love for yourself is not where it needs to be. And that's what I work on under the 2 umbrellas in my programs, whereby you are working on your self-concept and your feeling about yourself. You're working on your very deep subconscious in order to get to a place where you know, believe, and then exude your value, your real worthiness, your absolute love for yourself comes across to him, and he wants to be part of that. These are the ways that we actually create and keep the love for the man that never feels routine for him. But I know that if you are falling into that routine of not having, when you think about it, not having the relationships that you've wanted, that's kind of a pattern. So what I'm using routine here as a pattern, then you want to really question. There's something going on with me, probably some little voice in you that says, yes, there's something here I need to address. Well, it's just what I'm talking about here. Yes, it's making him wonder. Yes, it's doing what works with men. But then there's that other component of truly knowing and living in the state of knowing and actually being completely and profoundly connected to your self-love, self-awareness, and being clear about it then for yourself. It will exude a clearness and a way of being with your man that creates his clarity and helps him feel always wanting to be with you, knowing that he does, and going the distance. These are very subtle things that I talk about here because it's not, a one-size-fits-all approach. These are very deep things within you that you must make the connection to. If you are just getting information, just watching videos, getting information, feeling like there's something out there that is going to tell you what it is, well, I'm glad you're looking. However, if you're just looking and taking in information and not making the transformation to the self-concept that is profoundly knowing, then all these things about making him wonder and doing what works with men will only work to a certain degree. And that's maybe where you have not gone the distance in the past. You've made him wonder. You have intellectually felt of value, that you deserve a certain respect, way of relating, commitment, all of it. You know it intellectually, but it's eluding you, meaning not getting the love you want, the commitment you want. Then you know that's a deeper subconscious way of relating that is keeping you where you are. That's routine, that's pattern, and it must be changed by breaking the pattern, stopping this routine of how you've been behaving, and being different. And this, just getting information and not following through, and actually, if it's not me, then someone else. But work towards it. Work until you find the answer. Don't just give up and say, I'm just going to be me, and if a man doesn't accept it, then that's it. I have found that is really a denial. It is a reaction rather than a conscious knowing and getting right with self in order to have your divine right relationship. Go back and listen to this again. You will hear things a second time that you didn't hear the first time, and that could be significant to you. Repeat, repeat, repeat. And I urge you, again, if it's not me, someone else, but get to work. Because if it's not working for you and it has become a pattern, then we can change that by making a decision and making a movement, changing to what will work. When you change, you actually experience the change in another person. I work with this all the time with my clients. It's really 50% of what we do. It's through the man that we are with that we make these changes. It's profound enough to want to make the changes. If you've met someone in your life that is there in your life and you want to make this change, even if he's not there and he was there and you want a chance to get it back, you can by making these profound changes, recognizing the need for them, and then setting about transforming to what will work. You can begin today by thinking about just what I said here, the need for him to wonder in small ways. Get to work on the texting videos that I told you and that are in the description. Then you want to really understand what works with men. And yes, that's getting information, but maybe if you've been getting it and not getting the results, then it's time to do something different, and that could be getting transformation by working with someone. And then, of course, the self-concept work that is profound. And in my book, there are only a few ways to do that. I won't go into much more of them here because this video is already a long video, but I work with the Neville Goddard manifesting technique that actually works with that. It is the most enjoyable way I have found to do it, and certainly the least laborious way that takes a lot of effort with other folks, like hypnotherapy or something like that. You can do it yourself without going to a hypnotherapist. You actually can do it, and they're very easy. It's all out there on YouTube, in books, in so much that's available to you now. If you know my stuff, you know I follow many of the manifestors who do this Neville Goddard technique, and go and search it online for yourself and start. And then if you want more with the man of the moment that you want to go for forever, connect with me and we can perhaps work together on that. At the very least, we can have a consult or a podcast episode that you can be a guest on. I have many ways to talk to me and get to me, so I hope you will follow through with connecting with me at CoachPaulagrooms.com. And until then, don't forget, with any man in your life, you're going to have to start by making him wonder. I trust you got a lot of good information from today's video, and I enjoy bringing you content that is valuable for success in your romantic life. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the alert bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you want more on any of the content you see here, you can go to my book, Why Won't He Commit? How a Man Decides to Make You the One. You can order it at any fine retailer where you get your books. And if you want more on me or any of my programs, my podcast, go to CoachPaulagrooms.com, and we could be talking soon.